This tech tip video considers the differences between the real building, the actual building, and the notional building for UK compliance, and how we work with assigning data to these within the VE. We'll assume some familiarity with UK compliance. As a quick summary, we need to work with different representations of the project building. The real building is the closest to our design building. We might use it for design studies such as overheating studies, natural ventilation studies, SBEM loads calcs, etc. We would run these simulations within Apache as they are not tied to UK compliance. We then have the actual and the notional buildings, which need to comply with requirements in the building regulations. So we work on them within the UK compliance application in the VE. The actual building is set up depending on the project type, such as an office or a school, which will take on different standardized internal template conditions. The notional building is created automatically by the VE for comparison, to perform the compliance assessment with the same template conditions plus other regulated differences. Let's consider the differences between the actual and the notional buildings. The actual building is similar to the real building that we may have modelled for design purposes. It is located at the closest city for which there is SBSE compliance weather data. The geometry and constructions are shared, as are the assigned templates. It's very important to be aware that systems can only be assigned if they have been created using the NCM wizard to apply the compliance rules. In addition, the selection of NCM activity templates per space will define the occupancy, equipment, and lighting gains. The selected activity also defines the different heating, cooling, and domestic hot water set points and the different ventilation rates. In contrast, the notional building is generated automatically by the VE for the compliance assessment. It applies the NCM guidelines for geometry constraints, constructions, systems, activities, gains, operations, and ventilation. The simplest way to explain this is to look at an example. If we switch to Apache and select a single space in our model, we can use the query tool to see what thermal template is assigned to it. We can use the Building Template Manager to look at the thermal template. For this example, we can see that the Open Plan Office template has internal gains assigned to it, and it also has the NCM activity for office buildings set up and associated with it. If we query the room again to see the internal gains, it's important to note that the references are just the gain type names. Obviously, we could create ones that are unique to our project, whereas this example shows people, lighting, and miscellaneous. The benefit of the VE is that, because it is all based around the unique model we created in Model-it, we can undertake different types of analyses, such as design assessment or compliance, from the same model. So, if we keep this space selected and switch to the compliance application, we can use the query tool again and see that the internal gains are totally different. Let's look at them side by side. For this space, they happen to be gains of the same type, but the values and profiles vary in the compliance view, because here they are all NCM gain references and types, which are for that particular building type. Try and check it for yourself in your own software. It's important to be aware of this difference. Our support team often see instances where people have made changes, for example to the lighting gain in Apache, and then it makes no difference to their compliance result because they're changing the wrong gains, although they're within the right space or zone of the model. If the changes are for compliance, they need to be changed within the VE compliance application. This is really the key to setting up compliance models. We want to try and maximize the use of the model and use it for a variety of different analysis types. Thank you for watching this video on the difference between the real, the actual, and the notional building data within the VE for UK compliance simulations. For further hints and tips on the VE, please check out our other tech tip videos.